and yeah, welcome the public gallery. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay respect to elders past, present and emerging. A record of attendance, apologies and approved leave of absence. So we've got Councillor Graham Richardson away on approved leave. Everyone else is present. All right, point 3, response to previous public questions taken on notice. So they've been communicated. At point 4, public question time. Did you have any questions, Larry?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty quick. So the reason we don't have any recycling bins down at the groin, like the 6 rubbish bins there and not one recycling bin.
Oh yeah, we can take. Yeah, we'll take that one on notice. So the question is, you'd like some recycling bins at the groin?
Good idea. The rubbish, the recycling stuff's getting put in the bins.
Yep.
6 bins there, one recycling bin would be good.
Yep.
We could do the same thing down when they put their black water at the entrance to the rubbish tip. There's no bins there whatsoever. They pull up, dump their black water, and a bin for them would be good, I think.
Okay, so is that 2 different locations you would?
Yeah, the entrance to the rubbish tip.
Entrance to the rubbish tip.
So, Larry, recycling bins at the groin, and then any type of bin at the waste disposal transfer station.
Yes, I think. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty close to the rubbish tip.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it legal to charge people for rubbish and recycling if they don't get it or use it? Because the 2021 census showed over 50% only using their properties, you might say. The houses are vacant for maybe 10 months of the year. But you guys charge them for bin and recycling fees. And it's $500.
So the question is it legal for us to do that? Is that the question?
Yeah, charge people.
Okay, thank you. We'll take that one on notice, Larry.
Have we done any submissions for the cheap industry? The situation, what's going on? I think quite a few councillors have.
So has the Shire of Ravensthorpe Council put any formal submission in around the sheep industry? So no, the answer is no.
We have a lot of farmers here. If you did, it'd be good to, unlike the one for the parks and marines, you send a submission off, which is good. But you didn't let the ratepayers have a look at it before you send it off. I think ratepayers should be included in some of these things. Which gets me to the next question of your cultural sculpture. Where did that suddenly come out of the blue? Obviously, we've been discussing that with someone for some time, but no ratepayers were told about it. And did you call tenders for a sculpture? Or have you got someone picked out? And what's the budget for the sculpture?
Okay, so just so we capture all these questions, Larry, the question is, did we put the sculpture out? But this is the Gene Streams sculpture, I presume you mean?
Cultural one, yeah.
Yep.
And sort of put it on your website, but no budget for it.
So the first question was there any consultation, community consultation?
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you get, what's the deal? Have you got one sculpture lined up to do it or something?
And then what was the process around procurement? And then what you're asking, what was the process around procurement for the sculpture?
Yeah, did you call tenders?
Okay, we'll take that on notice, Larry.
And shouldn't something like this be discussed with the ratepayers again, put out to them? This just come out of the blue. You guys have obviously been discussing it for some time, talking to the sculpture, I guess. You got this sort of artist's impression of a sculpture that you're going to put there.
There's a fair bit of work that's gone into that, but we'll take your question on notice. Yeah. Well, I think there was, but we'll come back to you with a formal response about that.
Now, coming on a few other things like that, Walter, is the public allowed to comment on any of this, or is this put out to the public to comment?
Are you asking about an item in tonight's?
Okay, you've got some questions coming up in here about what's going on Walter and your meeting and attending in the future. And a lot of questions there that have been asked by them for you people to consider, your representatives that are going to go to attending. But why isn't this put out to the public?
Oh, all right, we'll take that on notice, Larry.
There's no discussion. You talk about sort of transparency, but why aren't we getting told this stuff?
Well, I think the community is getting told and being consulted, but I'll take your question on notice.
Seen it, I mean,
well, I'll respond to it.
I know ratepayers that don't agree with backfilling at all. Are you guys, what's your representatives or council's point of view on that?
It'll come up in the meeting tonight. So if you stick around for the meeting,
you'll question time because you won't be talking when you guys are going to discuss it.
Yeah, but you're asking us to answer something that hasn't been decided yet. So
I'm putting forward to you my point of view and from some ratepayers that you might like to consider.
Yep. Is there a question in there?
Yeah, the question is, what's the council's opinion on backfilling? Would council consider elections to be done in-house and not necessarily with the electoral commission who has a monopoly on it? And because it became done in-house and not cost $20,000 like it did last time, basically cost you nothing.
Yep, well, we'll have to take those ones on notice.
See first class in the post take place.
Yep.
Because the also happened last time.
Yep. Yeah, we can. So there is an officer's recommendation in here, which is obviously a public document. We haven't voted on the item yet, so it's a bit hard for council to comment on what their position on that is.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to get my point in at question time,
yeah.
That's what the agenda is all about, so we can have a consider of and raise these points.
Yeah, you just gotta watch. You said point, so that's a point is not a question. So just try and keep it to questions if you could, Mr. Baker. Yep.
Schedule of account payments 12/22. You say attachments green. Is green a code something or other?
It's green. The colour represents the cover page in the attachments. It's just for a reference, ease of reference. So the cover page for that particular one is green, got a green tab to it.
All right. Must have missed that. I'd like to also just remind you that Remembrance Day is coming up. And if the council could observe that, please, in both war memorials.
That a question? Is that a?
Well, the question is, will you be remembering Remembrance Day?
I think we can answer that one now. The question answer is yes.
It hasn't always happened.
Yep. Yep. Any other questions?
Yeah, several council meetings ago, a fair few ago, we asked about, do you think we can have some street lights in one of the longest streets in Hometown, Camberwara? Have we had a result? I think you said you were going to maybe talk to Horizon about it. Did anything happen?
Street lights in Camberwara.
Yeah.
Yep. So
we asked that maybe 6 months ago. I haven't had an answer on that.
Yeah, we'll take that on notice.
I think the same night we asked the question, could you put in some slip roads into Banksia and Camberwara because they are really hot spots.
Thanks, Larry. We'll take that on notice.
Any other questions, Larry, before we move on?
Yeah, it's sort of something out a little bit. Lot to go through. Forgive me if I don't pronounce his name right. This company called Euphorism. What is it? Euphorism something. That's doing your cultural. Should be discussing or not. Euphorium Cultures that your wife works for, Tom?
Euphorium is the company.
Euphorium.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Why wasn't your interest in that company declared in 2023? And that company was first, I think, employed you. Because your wife has been working with them for a while and working for the shop.
Well, I'd have to take that on notice, Larry.
You know, you put your interest in it, a couple of meetings ago, but they've been around since 2023. In fact, I think you started talking to someone about 2022.
I think we'll take that on notice, Larry, but I'm pretty certain that Gab wasn't employed by Euphorium at that time. So, but we'll take that on notice.
That would be my
Well,
thought.
Bainbridge shows have been around since 23.
Oh no, your question was whether the Shire President's wife was employed by Euphorium, and at the Larry, do you mind me responding, please?
No, you gotta go.
Thanks. So the question was around whether the Shire President's wife was employed with Euphorium when the contract was awarded.
Well, Tom, my question is, why was Tom's declaration of interest just recently in 24? They have been around employed since 23.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be a conflict of interest if the Shire President's wife wasn't employed with Euphorium at that time.
Okay.
Right, any other questions, Larry? You got a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we had a fire break at the new gazebo at Down Cemetery, please. If you don't believe there's no fire breaks, I suggest you take a drive.
So your question is, you'd like a fire break at the Hopetown
Cemetery, yeah,
surrounding the
around a new gazebo.
Yep. We'll take that on notice. Yep.
Okay. That'll be about it for a while. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Larry. All right. Declarations of interest. I do have one. Yep.
Thanks, Shire President. So Councillor Major has indicated interest in 12.1.3, the Cultural and Creative Industries Plan. My wife, Gabrielle Major, works for a company, Euphorium, who is the author of the report. So that interest is a financial nature, so the Shire President will be leaving the chambers for that item.
Yep, and I think that's the only interest we've received for that.
Shire President?
Meeting, yep, applications for leave of absence. Neil, confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting from 17th September 24.
Yep, I can move to that. Correct.
Move Councillor Moody. Seconder. Councillor Milosevsky. All in favour? It's carried. Right.
I can't vote on that one.
Yeah, I think we did vote on it, just not move or second. Yep. Announcements, reports by elected members. All right, we'll go around the table, starting with Councillor Moody.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot this month, but I did attend the Ravensthorpe West River bin meeting. So the harvest's about to happen. That was on the 18th of September. I think general impression was that yields were going to be above what they're estimating from the farmers, so that's good. But then I did also attend a CBH meeting in Perth and the Grower Advisory Council on the 10th of October. Nothing really relevant to our shire there. I think the Munglunup bin is complete or very close to complete. So looking at about 16 million tonne of grain statewide, which is up on last year, but still not real high, but it's still reasonably good. The only other thing I'd like to do is wish all our farmers a successful harvest, safe, and take care, and watch out for the trucks, because there's going to be many trucks on the road, and just take care on the gravel roads. That's it.
Thanks, Councillor Moody. Councillor Milosevsky.
ended up attending the markets down in Hopi and had two different thoughts on rabbits. So one likes to control his own rabbits and cook them, while the other one wants to poison them. So, and yeah, what's happening out there? That was probably the most interesting one that I've had.
Yep. That's it. Yep. Thanks, Councillor Miliceski. Councillor Mansell.
Yeah, I also attended the market at Hotel, and fortunately for me, I didn't have the chance to talk to the man about the rabbits. Yeah, that's but there was a good attendance there, and people. I think our stand there, the council stand, is well appreciated, and not only by locals but also by tourists. They come and have a chat with us, and it's a really good opportunity to, for the public,
Engagement.
public engagement. Thank you. Yes, and to build our profile for sure. It's good.
Yep. That's great. Thanks, Councillor Mansell. Councillor Gibson.
Yes, well, I've been on leave, so I probably haven't been to as much. I had a couple of weddings to attend, but I went to the Welga convention in Perth last week, which I've never been to, and that was kind of interesting to meet different local government members and do some networking. And it's good to kind of put the local government pieces together when it's all new to you. My highlight was listening to Brendan Grill's talk. He's a pretty straight shooter and says it how it is, which that's kind of quite like that. And I haven't been to this, but I've spoken with the Mungie wheat bin manager, Kelly, and I'll do a tour out there this week, but all stacks are open as well at the moment. So that's all for me.
Yep. Thanks, Councillor Gibson. Councillor Leighton.
Yeah. I have to apologise for not making the markets on last Sunday because I had to do a recce tour for somebody else jumping in on the bus tour, so I couldn't do both. But I agree that it's really good to be there and be seen and be available for everyone. I went to the MCG meeting. That was since the last meeting, wasn't it? So yeah, it was really good. Always good to duck out the Monk Up, who sort of had their own little working groups and busy bees, and it's quite interesting. I really enjoy it. And they're always welcoming, so I really love going out to there. The Walga I found very interesting. Thought Brandon Grills again was one of the mainstays there. I really enjoyed his comments, and also learned an awful lot about other shires, and it's good to actually have that networking and discussing stuff. So I thought that was really good. Quite tiring staying inside all day. Rather be outside, but good. And enjoyed with the other councillors as well. And Matthew, I thought that was really good. And I've had a few sort of meetings with the museum. So we would have had one today, Matthew, that I couldn't make, but the museum, I don't know if anyone knows that they're sort of at a level where they need a lot of help. So, and we need more volunteers. So, not too sure if Larry, you've been involved with the Shire, with the museum at all, but just time, you've got time to kill, that'd be a good one. But yeah, so new museums probably in a state of looking forward, it could close pretty early than what we think, and we wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that to happen. So, had discussions with Ainsley and stuff, and we're going to get our finger out and have a look at helping them along. It's really important not to have that close. So that's my main thing that I've been thinking about there. And we've had lots of bus loads and coach loads and people in looking at the area. So it's been really good. I think that's about it. People mentioning rabbits today on the tour as well, the motel. So there's rabbits near the motel that have got big fluffy tails. They look like pets. I think somebody might be feeding them.
Right.
Cheers, man. You got to leave now.
Right.
Thank you.
See you later. Thanks for that.
It's nothing for volunteers.
Yeah. Thanks, Councillor Leighton.
I'll just note, Larry Baker left at 6:20.
Yeah, so since our last meeting of 25th of September, had our monthly Shire President CEO catch up. 2nd of October, we had a meeting with FQM just to see where they're at the moment. They're pretty quiet, not really looking to, not really forthcoming with much for the community at this point. So we'll keep working on them. Had attended the RAIN meeting on the 7th of October. And then, the 8th to 10th of October, went to the local government convention in Perth, which, as Councillor Gibson and Councillor Leighton mentioned, was a really, really good event. I got a lot out of it. It was good networking and information. Sat next to we had a breakfast there. I sat next to the Department of Transport Director General, and I was able to raise the state of South Coast Highway and the Hopetown Groin Marine Facility upgrade that we want to do there. So that was good to get his ear. So that was it. And then we had some interesting guest speakers, and I'd encourage any of the councillors that haven't been before to get along next year if you can find the time. Yeah, that was me for the month. So, righto. 0.9 nil, 10 nil, 11 nil, 12 reports of officers, delegates to the Great Southern Wolga Zone. Oh, sorry, right page. Right. Can we have a mover that council? There's 3 points here, and we'll move them on block. So appointment of Councillor Major and Councillor Moody as the Shire of Ravensthorpe Council Member Zone delegates. Point 2, the appointment of Councillor Gibson as Council Member Deputy Zone delegate. And 3, the delegated authority to the Shire CEO or CEO's representative as a voting delegate in circumstances where the previous aren't available. Another mover for that one. Move Councillor Miliceski, seconder. Councillor Gibson, you want to speak on that motion? All in favour? That's carried. Oh, 12.1.2, local government elections review of Wolga advocacy positions. Mr. Baker would stick around on here. Yeah, this one out. It's pretty interested. All right. So the officer recommend. Do you want to move these on block? We'll go through them. So the officer's recommendations are there as listed. Point 1 to 6. I won't read them all out, but do we have a mover for those as listed?
Yeah, I'll move them.
Councillor Moody
as listed.
Yeah. Seconder, Councillor Gibson. Anyone want to speak for that motion?
I think, like in those motions there that we're going for, we have heard a lot of the public, people's comments that they've been making, and I think that's what's recommended has captured a lot of those comments.
I agree with you. Yes.
Yep. Anyone else want to speak on the motion? No, we'll put it to the vote. All in favour? That's carried. 12.1.3, cultural and creative industries plan. So I'll depart the room.
Shire President left the chambers at 6:26 PM.
So, the officer's recommendation is that the council endorse the Shire of Ravensthorpe 2024 to 2029 Cultural and Creative Industries Plan. We have a mover. A move. Sue, a seconder. Roger.
For,
All in favour?
you want to speak for or speak
Yeah,
against?
sorry. You don't want to speak for it? You don't want to speak against it? All in favour? That's all.
Oh, is it?
I'm back in.
Shire President returned at 6:27. Shire President, so the motion was endorsed as presented, 5-0.
Thanks. Thanks, Matt. Oh.
Might print one-sided for you, I think, moving forward.
All right. All right. 12.2.1 monthly financial report, 30th of September 2024. What's that one? That's me. The council received the September 2024 monthly financial report as presented. We have a mover for that one. Councillor Gibson, seconder. Councillor Layton. Anyone want to speak on that motion? All in favour? Yep, it's carried. 12.2.2 schedule of account payments. Pursuant to Regulation 13 of the Local Government Regulations 96, that payment of accounts for the month of September 2024 be noted. Move for that one. Councillor Moody, seconder. I'll second it. Or anyone want to speak on that motion? All in favour? That's carried. All right. 4.3.1 Ravensthorpe Cultural Precinct Finalisation Report. Yeah. We have a mover that council notes the final audited cost for the Ravensthorpe Cultural Precinct. Councillor Moody, seconder. Councillor Gibson. Anyone like to speak on that motion?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Natalie and all the team that brought this project in on budget and turned out to be a fantastic job, and well done. So something that the whole Shire can be very proud of. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Moody. Anyone else want to speak on that motion?
I just say thanks to all the community groups who put that money in, and every dollar went in, we got 3 out of. So I think it's really good to have them listed there as well.
Yep. Well said, councillors. So if there's no one else that wants to speak on that motion, we'll put it to the vote. So all in favour? Yep, that's carried. 13, 14, 15 is nil. So point 16, close the meeting.
6:31 PM.